Hey jerks, Scott here, one of the co-hosts of Curtain Jerks podcast, back doing these blogs, doing these videos, talking about what's going on in wrestling, what's going on with the state of Curtain Jerks, and just everything that's happening. So trying to get back doing these at least weekly for you guys, and chatting with you guys, because I like talking with you. So we got WrestleMania coming up. We've got another match confirmed today. We've got AJ Lee and Paige versus the Bellas. So kudos to them for not piling all the divas in one match and just having it mean nothing and be totally boring. This might be really, really good. I know it's not for the title, but hey, nonetheless, it's an exciting new idea, and they haven't done something like this in quite some time. So we got that. We've got the multi-person ladder match, which is going on for the IC belt. So we got Barrett and Ambrose and Luke Harper, that's who I'm pulling for. It looks like Stardust is going to be involved, Daniel Bryan, and more guys on top of that. They've got the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal again, which is very surprising. I'm kind of shocked by that. I'll be totally honest. I didn't think that this was going to come back, especially after what we saw with Cesaro and what didn't happen with Cesaro. Doesn't look like many early favorites in this one. Maybe Mizdow somewhere in there, but other than that, I don't think Axelmania is going to take it, brother. But still exciting. There could be somebody they're throwing in there at some point that might be the clear favorite, but having the ladder match and that makes it a bit muddled and not really sure who's going to win going in with that. And somebody named Brock Lesnar versus somebody named Roman Reigns, I believe. So still not thrilled about that. I'm not against it. It's just that's not the ultimate main event for me in the show, watching it going in. I know a lot of other people feel strongly other ways, but I'll just be rooting for Brock. I love Brock. That doesn't take away from that at all. Reigns is just not a guy that I want to see win, so that's how I'm treating it, is I want to sooner just root for Brock and have him retain. And then there's some more matches from there. Sting versus Triple H. That I am really excited for, because that is the one time this is ever going to happen, and I would love to see it live. Speaking of which, update on what's going on. You might see the lanyard back there. Someday maybe I'll haul those out if you guys want to see those. Those are the previous trophies of mine. The WrestleMania press passes that I had from last year at WrestleMania 30. We are still waiting to hear the status of that, what's going to happen if we are cleared for WrestleMania press passes. The one thing that always helps us with that, though, is, of course, all of your interaction. So subscribing to our YouTube page, rating and reviewing us on iTunes, subscribing on SoundCloud, following us, commenting on episodes, reposting them, liking them, Stitcher Radio, Comedy Podcast Network, every little number, every little blip, they all add up, and spreading the word. So the more that happens, the better chances we have each and every year to do something like that. And we're also waiting on Comic-Con press credentials as well. We're submitting to some big things and seeing if we can get in there, because after last year, I had the pleasure of, most of you have seen the AfterBuzz videos that I did at WrestleMania 30. If you haven't seen those, there's a playlist in there, so check those out. And another thing that happened this week that was big for the podcast, obviously, I'm going to assume that you're all listening. If you're not listening, clearly you're just looking at my beautiful face. 16 Bits Podcast, which I'm a part of with Josh Callahan, another comedian and video game nut. We do the 16 Bits Podcast, available on SoundCloud and iTunes. I'll put links below in there for you. And Curtain Jerks, if you're a little behind in the episodes, you're wondering what's happening, we had a big mashup extravaganza. We had a two-parter. It's a one big episode, but we split it up into two parts. So the first half of it is 16 Bits and Curtain Jerks all in one show on the 16 Bits Hub. And then the second part is over on Curtain Jerks end, and that's Josh Callahan, Steve Sears, who you all know, and myself, all sitting down having a great time. And if you weren't sold already, if you're like, I don't know, maybe I'm not a big video game nut, or I'm not into games anymore, Mrs. Dad, I think you're sold now. He's in there a lot. So that's a great time. This week, I know on the podcast for sure, last night, Steve and I saw Chappie, and we happened to see someone else in that theater watching Chappie with us. Not with us, but the Iron Sheik was there. So that's probably going to be on the show this week. Iron Sheik at the movies, watching Chappie. So a lot is in store coming up. So do all that to help support us. Like the Facebook, follow us on Twitter, give us that rating review. And if you've done all of these things, if you've done all that, I thank you to no end, because that's huge for us. So it's just more and more numbers. There's always stuff to talk about. There's the Bill DeMott thing going on. That's crazy. He's no longer there anymore because of bullying and just mistreatment of the other wrestlers. Allegedly, you know, who knows? I didn't work for him. I got my clothes on here at home. And other things. So whatever you guys want to hear me talk about or discuss, please comment below and I'll chat with you. And I'm always online. Always online. Either that or I'm here watching. Oh, I got a DVD right here. Dr. Dolittle 2. I need to get rid of this, don't I? I think I do. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back next week or perhaps sooner if there's that much more to talk about. So comment below and like the video.